Hey warriors, and welcome to the latest episode of the Sickening podcast. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Brandi from the One Sick Beat podcast. Hey Brandi, how are you?
Hello, Sickening. Hello, Roxy. I'm doing well today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm honored that you asked me. Nervous, but honored.
Oh, you look amazing, by the way. You actually look
Thank
phenomenal.
you. I appreciate it, as you always do. That's why you are the MS fashionista. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, thank you. For all the warriors that don't know much about you, could you give me a little bit of your background and maybe your diagnosis story?
Sure. Of course, I'm Brandi from One Sick Beat. I was diagnosed in 2001. My first symptoms were at the age of 9. I couldn't control my bladder. I was having a hard time walking, couldn't participate in sports at a young age. So they kind of not brushed it off, but just assumed it was arthritis. They checked me for Lyme disease, never checked me for MS. At 16, I had my daughter. But 5 months later, I turned 17. Well, 5 months later, I was 17 and my daughter was 5 months. And I fell down the stairs and she landed on top of me. I didn't know what was going on. She was laughing. I'm crying because I didn't know what was going on. I lost function. I always say I got jumped, really. I got jumped at 17 by MS and her family. I got jumped by optic neuritis is the cousin. I got jumped by another family member who basically beat me so bad. My right side was non-functional. My bladder and my bowel was going out. And like I said, optic neuritis. My mom's in the medical field. She sent me to a eye doctor. And the eye doctor was like, I see something, but only certain type of patients have this. And we were like, okay. He was like, well, I'm going to send you, mind you, I was underage. So he was like, I'm going to have your pediatrician send you to a neurologist. And he was like, I'm going to get you in. And my mom was like, oh, we already got her in for tomorrow because, she barely could walk in here. And he was like, okay. And they did MRI, they did a spinal tap, and he came back in there so casual and was like, oh, you have multiple sclerosis and you'll be all right, and patted me on my leg. Mind you, I'm 17, have a new baby, don't know really too much about MS except that Montel Williams had it, and the lady off of Disney, I think Disney or the Disney lady, she had multiple sclerosis, and I was familiar with maybe like not familiar with actually what the disease was, but I've heard of it. And I called my friends and I was like, they just came here and said I had multiple sclerosis. And everybody was like, we're on our way up there. And I'm like, well, somebody explained to me what it was. And from then, it just is what it is. 20 years will be officially in September. It has been a challenge. It went from relapsing, remitting to primary progressive. I've been in hospital. I've lost my vision. I've been in a wheelchair. I currently use a scooter. Like I said, uphill, downhill with MS, you just never know from day to day. I've been blessed. I'm thankful for where I'm at, where I can sit up and I can speak to you right now, because I have been in a situation where it is hard for me to articulate words, or I can't really get my cognitive together, or you just know with MS, it can be anything. And I deal with a lot of choking problems. I choke a lot randomly, so I have to keep water, part of MS too.
Unpredictable roulette
Definitely.
table of symptoms.
Yeah, it can be anything. It's one of those MS people don't really understand. I can wake up and feel great. Can't clean my house like in one day and get everything done. So just like this morning, I cleaned my bathroom and I was drained, and you take a nap and then you start over for the day. I think time management. It took me a long time to really accept and say that I can't do it or stop. And to be unapologetic, I really didn't read back recently till maybe you're 18. Learn how to stop feeling bad for me having to say I'm unavailable or I'm not feeling good, because I carry that deeply, because you are afraid, number one, a person won't call you. Number two, they're thinking it's an excuse because they can't see it, so they don't know how you really feel. They just see you look good, you're smiling, but inside. My legs are burning. I'm aching. I can't sit still because my body, I have to readjust all the time.
It's a learning curve. Like, it took me years to just be okay with myself, like to be like, you're not a burden. You should be invited places. It's okay not to be able to do it.
I remember writing a post 2 years ago, and I was saying that I had shared it recently, and I was saying that me and my spouse, my husband, have been in a relationship. There's always been another woman, and she pre-parties before me. She turns up. She invades our birthday. She invades our anniversary. She invades my pregnancy. She invaded my kid's life. She took us. She's been there, and I call MS that bitch. Excuse me. I call her that bitch. So when my friends call me and I'm having a bad day, they're like, "How you feeling?" I'm like, "Oh, that bitch is over here." They're like, "Really?" That's how I deal with her. And
I adore your posts. Like, I think your posts are like some of the best parts of my day when I'm on Instagram. And recently, I feel like you've become so motivational in your posts that you put out. Like, you're unapologetic, and I feel like you seem very authentic with the way you speak outwardly. You'll do it anywhere. You'll be in your car. You just speak, and I love the authenticity of just being like, you know what, I've got something to say, and I'm saying it. And 9 times out of 10, it's a lovely little lesson, but also a motivational piece of knowledge. And I want to know, like, how did you get to that point? And what inspired you to start doing that?
First of all, I'm taking in what you said before I drop the beer. Let me have a glass of wine, because you do things and you do it not necessarily, you don't do it for attention. You do it to help somebody and make them feel loved because of who they are, just genuinely, like love, self-love. And to me, I started my motivational Monday, because being an MS warrior, there's only 2 days in a weekend. So you get off work on Friday, you relax. Saturday comes, beautiful day. Then Sunday comes, and you realize in less than 24 hours, you're starting your week over. And for people who have autoimmune diseases, whether it's MS, fibromyalgia, lupus, Mondays come so fast, and it's a whole nother, oh my gosh, here goes another 5 days that I gotta make it through. Because a lot of times, a lot of us are working and we physically really shouldn't be, but you have no choice because that's your bread and your butter. So my thought process on Motivational Mondays is to encourage everybody and let them know that it might be a tough week. Mondays are supposed to be one of the toughest days of the week. It might be a tough week depending on what you're going through, but I'm trying to find the words. Just to fight and to push through, and to know that our battle is hard as hell. Oh, it's so hard, gruesome at times. But we have to know that there is a little speck of light in this dark place. And if we can reach and just look into that little tiny light, that maybe will gain something. And like I said, I had never ever been turned down by a homeless person. And I had a shirt. I was getting ready to take back a shirt that I actually bought somebody. And I was like, hey, do you want this shirt? Because this shirt had holes in it, and it had holes in it. It was ripped. It was dirty. And I was like, what size do you wear? And he was like, a medium. I said, well, me assuming that he should take it or be happy or be thankful, he was like, no, it's too large. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest, at first I was like, oh. And he was like, it's too large. And then I've always been a person as I look at both sides, whether it's a conversation with my friend, or whether it's a conversation with you. I try to look at both point of views. I've never been like a one-sided person. So I stepped back to myself and I told myself, I'm like, it's hot as heck outside. That shirt has holes in it. He can breathe. It also covers up enough where he can actually walk into a store, and the material of the shirt I was going to give him was a polo. It's hot. He won't be able to breathe. And a shirt that's two sizes bigger, when it gets hot and you're sweating, it's heavier. So with that, I was like, don't take less than what you deserve. And even though he's homeless, he says, I deserve, even though I'm out here, I deserve a shirt that's going to be lightweight, fit, just to be comfortable in. And I don't have to accept that just because it's given. And like I said, at first I was a little taken back, like, oh, he didn't turn me down. And then I sat back and I was like, that's some real shit, because I don't know walk in his shoes. I don't know where he goes at night. I don't know how he sleeps. I don't know if that's the reason why how he moves about. I just assume that since he didn't have it, and they say when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. So I made a butt out of myself, and then I was like, well, he has a right to turn it down. I mean, because everybody has a right to do something, and he taught me something like, don't accept nothing less than you deserve. And somebody who I assume doesn't have nothing, but I believe he had everything he needed to have to survive, because he wasn't crying, he wasn't moping around, he was comfortable, happy, and was like, no, that shirt, no, it's too big. So I guess getting back to the question of Motivation Monday is, I just would like people to start their week with one positive thought, because Mondays is you're getting up, you're getting your dress, you're getting your kids ready. Mind you, you have a hard time. I have a hard time just functioning in the morning. So when my kids were little, getting them up, getting them ready for school, making them sure lunch ready, then you got to make sure that dinner's prepared. And this is all in a Monday. And within the first 4 hours a day, you're already drained with thinking. So if I could just give somebody a little light, or let them know you're amazing, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you are fearful, you are ambitious, you are nothing less than what you think you are. You are more than that. You are a warrior. I just feel like people need to hear that, because people have people who are around them that they're surrounded by it. The worst thing is to be somewhere in a group and you still feel alone. And with MS, we can be a group of 5 or 10 people, but we still are alone in these battles. So I don't know if that answered it, because what you said kind of, I, I appreciate what you said, because I just do it, and I'm just being me. And to hear somebody say that they appreciate that, and sometimes I just recently got a inbox message, and she was like, "Thank you so much. I got off of work and I was having a hard day, and just hearing you say you are amazing," she was like, "It brightened my day." And me in my head, I'm like, "Well, you are amazing, and how that changed your day, but you don't know what somebody's going through."
No, absolutely. I sometimes will post some days where I'm like, no, I'm not going to give up, but you just feel like more lethargic, less motivated than you did 10 minutes ago. I see that post and I go, no, I can do this. Yeah, I love the one with the homeless guy that you did, because I was like, no, actually, I've been in those scenarios where you think, my friends have gone to me, I tried to buy a homeless person some food and they didn't want it because they were like, I don't eat that. And they were like, well, who do they think they are? And I was like, actually, like the first person I've heard go, yeah, but they know their worth. And sometimes we forget to know our worth.
Yes.
And I thought, you know what? Know your worth. I walked away from that one going, you know what? I should know my worth more. I really should. Because sometimes I forget. And I just accept things that I shouldn't do. I want to ask you a question. Because you do all the positivity and stuff, do you have any advice for someone that wants to take a step to being more positive?
Knowledge is power. So some people aren't religious. I believe in God. I believe I've got my journey. I've survived with believing in Christ, that He's there and I'm not alone. I tell people, if they want to change their attitude, change your surrounding, change what you follow, because a lot of times you don't even notice that some of the people I went through like a cleansing spell, and I follow certain people, but they were more funny, rude, ignorant, where, because you laugh, but I changed that and I start following people who are just fearless, unapologetically them, sending out love, letting people know. Sarah Jakes, I follow her. She's TD Jakes' daughter, but she is so, I can relate to her, because in her sermons, she'll say, I'm not there yet. She was like, I don't know. I'm trying to tell Jesus, like, no, I don't know if this is, and it's so me, because it's down to the earth and she's relatable. So change who you're around, it's something you can't change. You know, if you can't change the people around you, you can change yourself and put yourself in a different environment that helps you embrace who you are or what you are. Like I can say, for instance, me having MS, I've had it almost 20 years come September. I never, ever looked for MS podcasts, MS. I never even, this is embarrassing, not embarrassing, but it's my truth. I never even wore a shirt that said MS. When I go to treatment, it says, go, girl, go get it, girl. Or it says, you can do it, or do this, handle that. You got it. Because when you're a kid, you don't want to wear something that has MS because number one, it gives you attention and people want to know what it is. And sometimes you can't even describe what it is yourself because regardless how much you explain to them, they'll never get it. So I could never wear a shirt that actually said MS because I didn't want the attention in high school because I already looked funny because my high school was like 3 or 4 floors. So we had an elevator, but all the kids used to step up since I got the disability, they gave me an elevator key. Of course, my friends got the benefit off that because you have that one support person. But, you know, people want to know what's going on with you and you say, oh, I have MS or, you know, what is that? What does that do? And people don't really understand. So I've always been one of the people like, okay, orange is the color. Okay, what's going to say go girl or have a good day or rock that or, you know, just and inspirational quotes. Look up inspirational quotes. A lot of people don't like reading. Like full people don't like reading full books. So just follow positive quotes, positive people who are doing things. Follow somebody whose mood and vibe inspires you and gives you. I follow somebody. She's just a regular person because you know to me she's a celebrity in my mind just because of how she's a whole mood, a whole vibe. She's unapologetically her. She's getting up there, she's dancing, she's vibing, and she's just loving her. And I noticed following her and a couple other people, I'm like, you know what? You're right. I am sexy. You know what? You're right. It doesn't matter. It just, you know, like the lack of judgment of her being so free of who cares if people think I can dance? Who cares if people say, you know, just that. And to me, that's inspirational because we go through so much and we always put our flaws are in front of us before our flaws and our faults are in front of us before our grace, what we've invested in, what we've done, the obstacles that we face. Instead of saluting ourselves and saying, hey, this morning I got up, I made it 10 steps when I normally could only make it 5 steps, or I was able to stand up for 5 minutes. We look at it as, well, I only was able to stand up for 5 minutes. Well, I only could do 10 steps. No, I did 5 more steps than I could do yesterday. I set up 5 minutes, stand up 5 minutes longer than I did the day before. Damn it, I'm winning. Hashtag winning. Because we have to accept that our life and our journey is going to be different than somebody else's. So damn it, if we don't salute ourselves, who's going to do it? If you don't love yourself, nobody else is going to do it. I always say, adjust your crown and let your radiance shine through this perfectly flawed battle. I say that after all my posts. Adjust your crown. Adjust it. Sometimes it gets tilted because we go through things. Adjust it. That crown right there, that's over my head. Adjust your crown and let your radiance shine through that perfectly flawed battle. Instead of me saying, oh my gosh, I got to be this girl that's on this walker. I got to be this girl that's on this scooter. Hell no, my scooter is my Maserati, baby. My walker is a Cadillac. And that's what I'm rocking today. And I do have different things that I can put on my scooter. It can go from red or to blue. And damn it, if I want to wear red, I'm going to wear red. If I'm wearing blue, and I'm going to look good doing it. And if you go in the mall with me and you can't keep up with me, that's your fault. God gave you good legs. I can't help it because God gave me these legs that said I need to sit down and enjoy it. I'm a queen. We go out to eat, or I love going places with my friends, and we'll go like, you know, in the food court and they're scrambling looking for chairs, and I'll just turn my chair around in my scooter. I'm like, dang, I'm having problems. They're like, shut up, Brandi. I'm like, I'm just saying, I don't have them problems. I came with a seat. You should have came prepared. I always come prepared. Even with my walker, I used to tell my kids all the time for their sporting events, they're like, well, there's no seats over there. Oh, I got a seat. I'm not worried about everybody else. I'm going to get my walker and I'm going to sit my seat down and I'm going to sit here and enjoy your basketball game. I'm not worried about being up the stairs. I can sit right here in my chair. I get the best seat in the house.
You know, I love fashion and I love mobility aids, and I like fashionable mobility aids because I like things to be fashionable and functional. And you were saying that you have a Maserati and a Cadillac. Now, what is your favorite mobility aid?
My Cadillac. I'm sorry, my Maserati. I love my Maserati. It is, I always say it's the 2021 version of the hover around. I don't know, do you guys ever see that? You have the hover around commercial where people will be in the hover around? Okay, a hover around was like a scooter, but it was like a really bulky chair, and they would show older people like going to Aspen and stuff like that. And that.
Okay.
But my Maserati, it has a seat, it has arms, it's slim. I can fold it up. It can go in the trunk of my car or the trunk of my truck. I can pop it up. I love getting to the mall with my kids or my family, or going somewhere where it's a long walking distance and to see them, because they have legs. Their legs work well, but to be able to pop it up, and then the colors are adjustable. The front, like the front hubcap, you can change it from either blue or red. They come with either blue or red. So depending on what colors I'm wearing or how I'm feeling, I might change it. If I'm feeling lovely and I want to feel all in love, I'll put my red on. If I'm feeling like I'm having a gangster day and I'm tired, I'm just trying to get to these stores just like everybody else, I'm going to change it and wear blue. So I love my Maserati, which is my scooter. I'm the power of my scooter to be able to go to Walmart, or it's a place called At Home that has all these like home decoration stuff, to be able to soar through that whole warehouse and not be tired, not be drained. It took me so long to accept it. And another thing is when you have a walker. My walker, I do like to, my my Cadillac is teal. But the problem with that is after so long, my legs get tired. So you can't push a walker if you don't have the leg energy. You know, I was crying. I said, do you know how much freedom this gives me? It just gives me so much freedom. Just so much freedom. I can go to a carnival. I can go to just any activity where it's a long walking distance, and I can just go and just look good doing it, and unapologetically beautiful rolling through the crowd.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. I've used one once in a museum. I didn't have a Linker bike, and like you said, sometimes even with a Linker bike, leg energy is a bit of an issue. And it was a huge museum, and I wanted to go to an exhibition. I went with my partner, and I borrowed one of them. And I'm going to put the video in here, and I want you to send me a picture of yours so I can put it in here.
I definitely will.
And it was the coolest thing. It sounds really so cool thing, but like I felt like I was actually enjoying myself for once. I wasn't going, oh, where's the nearest seat? Where can I sit down? I'm so tired. Yeah. I was just sitting down, and people give me funny looks because obviously I was on this scooter, but then sometimes
and we look so good. Look at how you look. We don't look like statistically how you should look. We look radiant. You're gorgeous. You have your lipstick. You have your earrings. I'm unapologetically African American, so I'm gonna rock my black girl rock. I'm gonna get on there and it feels good. You're not drained. Like you said, you can take your time, and you don't. Usually, you're stopping and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna get through the rest of the museum because it's so large. I just want to sit down. No, you're sitting down. You're just riding. You can just embrace and enjoy the moment. So I just encourage people, because I didn't accept that I needed advice real young, because I was always, and I had the old walker, the silver one, and my coworkers were like, you are too fabulous.
Oh my God, I love that. I'm making a video of Mobility Babes with AIDS. We're going to celebrate us all. So calling you out on the podcast to be a part of it, because there's AIDS and you're a babe. So I'm expecting to see you.
Yes, I planned on trying to put something together. I love that you call me out all the time, because I have to say I appreciate you calling me out, because going through this battle, everybody, you give me the confidence, because you'll be like, because you're fashion, you're cute. I'm like, I'm cute. Well, okay, well, if you think I'm cute, then I'm gonna do it for you because you think I'm cute. So I'm gonna. So I appreciate that, because you don't know how you touch people too. Yeah, that's all I can say. I don't want to get emotional, but yes, I appreciate that. And I love that you are. And yeah, that's why I see you have the cane and all this. I'm like, this is a diva. Like, oh my gosh, look at her. She's flipping the cane. She has the iPad. We have optic neuritis. I always wear my eye patch and think I look like a sailor. I'm looking at you like, I never knew you could be so fly with an eye patch on.
So, Rihanna said one day, I saw someone asked Rihanna one day, what do you do when you don't feel so fly? And she said, fake it. And I was like, you know what? From one Beijing to another, I'm going to take that and I'm going to fake it. And I've done it enough now to feel fabulous regardless. I might not have no makeup on, I might have a tracksuit on and an eye patch.
Yes.
I'm still fabulous, honey. That's what I believe.
There you go. There you go. Right there. Right there. That's a beautiful thing.
Where can people find you if they want to get to you after this episode?
One Sick B can be found on Instagram, One Sick B _podcast. I can be found on Facebook, One Sick B podcast. I can be found on YouTube, One Sick B podcast. And actually, you can go to One Sick B, the number one, SIC. There's no K in it. We're gangster. B.com, and that's my webpage.
Oh, that's amazing. I want to thank you for being here today, and I really appreciate you. And we're going to have to bring you back in the future. But from my heart to yours, all love and a lot of light.
Yes.
And I will speak to you. Oh, I love you too.
Thank you.
And I'll speak to you again soon.